All right, so we're going to do a quick PowerPoint on reviewing getting direction on acceleration, but the first thing I wanted to talk about is what do we mean by acceleration? So the basic definition that should be in your notes is the rate that velocity changes. So what exactly does that mean? It means we're speeding up and slowing down, so our velocity is changing, but the rate is telling you how quickly do I speed up or slow down. So let's just look at a table of information here. We have different time values here from 0 seconds where the car starts, object starts, to 4 seconds. So if I look at the change here, I go from 10 to 8. I've actually decreased my velocity by 2 meters per second. And the time that it took me to make that change is 1 second. And now if I look at the next kind of time interval, I go from 8 to 6. So again, my change is still 2 meters per second in the same 1 second interval. And if I keep going, I'm going to see that from 6 to 4, again, I've changed by decrease, the minus sign, 2 meters per second, again, in 1 second. So the rate that my velocity changes, no matter what pair that I pick, is 2 meters per second here. Let's look at, instead of just hopping by 1 second intervals, let's pick any two that we have here. So you can see my answers up here already. But if I just pick these two, if I go from 8 to 2 meters per second, that's a change of minus 6 meters per second. And it took me from 1 to 4 seconds. It took me 3 seconds to make this change. So if I calculate my change, I take minus 6 meters per second over the time it took for that change, 3 seconds, and I still get the same 2 meters per second per second. This is the same data table I showed you in the previous slide. So this is telling me that the acceleration is constant. What does that mean? It means no matter which two velocities I pick and the corresponding times that I pick, I'm still going to get the same value, minus 2 meters per second per second. And of course, these numbers can be different for different objects, but I'm saying that the amount that it changes by every time interval is going to stay the same. Every second, I'm increasing my speed by 2 meters per second. That's how we read that. All right, so now let's talk about the direction of the acceleration. Which is the first concept builder. So the direction that it's moving is going to go with the velocity. So if we look at this table, which way is it moving? And hopefully we all said that it's moving to the left. And now if I want to figure out which way it's accelerating, I have to think about, is it speeding up? If it's speeding up, then the acceleration is going to be the same direction of the velocity. If it's slowing down, then the acceleration is going to be in the opposite direction. That's how we kind of differentiate between speeding up and slowing down. So what is our object doing? If we, by inspection, it starts at 0 to 4 seconds. This is the same data I showed you before. It's slowing down. So my acceleration is going to be in the opposite, to the right. So practice with the concept builder if you need to, and then go ahead and take that Google check-in. It's about 7 or 8 questions that give you some information on direction of acceleration. All right, good job, good luck. Reach out to me if you're having any questions.